Nigeria barely generates about 3,000 megawatts of electricity for a population of about 180 million people. However, the sector has challenges with infrastructure, policy somersault, and manpower. As the nation looks at an alternative source of power generation, manpower becomes key. Does Nigeria have the manpower to manage power generation from solar, wind, coal, and the likes? My guest this week talks about manpower in the nation's power sector. Hello there. Thank you for joining me on the program this week. I'm Gloria Umezuki. The need to improve the capacity of workers in the nation's electricity sector led to the birth of the National Power Training Institute in 2009. The institute has the mandate to provide a comprehensive, hands-on engineering and technical training for the power sector. My guest is the Acting Director General of the National Power Training Institute. Coming up next. Nigeria has great potentials for renewable energy, but there are several issues that need to be addressed. Among the challenges identified by experts are inadequate manpower to deploy renewable energy. Well, take a listen. Nigeria's power supply is dominated by hydro and gas-powered plants. However, there are potentials to generate electricity from solar, wind, and coal. According to the Nigeria Meteorological Agency, the country is endowed with an annual daily sunshine that is averagely 6.25 hours. This amounts to about 4,900 kilowatts per hour of energy from the sun, and the government has deployed solar energy to some rural communities as part of the energy mix. Solomon Jaka is a farmer in one of the communities that has benefited from government's solar power initiative. His family is already enjoying the dividends of this source of energy.
We go charge phone and we will use the night for inside room. In the night, he will sew the cloth at any time night. If you wake up or if you ready to do night work, you will use that light to sew the cloth.
As Nigeria considers these energy mix, there are questions begging for answers. Does Nigeria have the human development capacity to deploy these energy mix? Can they be sustained? And what about the financial implication?
It's a market that has a lot of promise in Nigeria. The unelectrification levels in Nigeria right now allow for this market to really become very large in the future, or needs to be very large in the future in order for you to meet your electrification needs.
Great potential for the application of renewable energy, especially solar electricity, both on the grid and off-grid. And in both areas, we have also realized that it's quite hard to find technical skills.
Nothing is free. Somebody has to pay for the hardware. Somebody has to pay for the change. Even if government has to do rural electrification, they have this high cost in which they are going to distribute.
Dr. Abdullahi Mati, a trainer on renewable energy, offers a solution on how these challenges can be addressed.
The best way out of it really is to invest in this small-scale renewable energy projects which will complement the national grid. And you know, supplying power to rural areas, the economy of scale is not favorable because you are feeding small population, so the energy intensity is very small, and so the best way out of it is really to go on small-scale power projects like the renewable energy.
Nigeria is presently generating about 4,100 megawatts of electricity, and the government is hoping to generate a minimum of 30% of renewable energy by 2030. In our interview, the Acting Director General of the National Power Training Institute of Nigeria, Mr. Ahmed Nagode, explains how the institute is preparing the needed manpower to improve the capacity for power generation from renewable energy.
Less, accident. I mean, you prevent, accident within the network. And at the same time, it makes it possible for saving the life, of infrastructure in terms of duration, in terms of, proper handling of equipment, within the sector. So our focus is likely, to, first of all, try to key into the targeting of the government in terms of delivering 10,000 megawatts to make available manpower to really work and then sustain, that very, target. And in doing that, the focus will be on making sure that equipment are well operated and maintained so that, you have less accident, both to human beings and also the infrastructure as well, the network as well.
But where is the bigger challenge? Where we have, maintenance issues, and also we have lack of access to power. There's so many loopholes here and there. So I'm wondering, where is the big issue?
Well, I think, you see, the first thing is there must be power, availability of power, and then you now have the attendant manpower to man, that very power. And you have, a well-developed, manpower. Because if you have a well-developed manpower, you take away, some of the problems, that really come up, with maybe the basically identified problems of energy theft, for instance, technical, commercial, and collectible, losses, within the system, But you need to have a well-informed, human capacity to really, really take care of this. And that's the mandate, of NAPTIN. NAPTIN is to, first of all, inject new entrants, into the power sector in terms of, graduates of electrical, mechanical, engineering, to have the requisite skills to really work in the power sector, and also to train the existing staff, of the utilities to ensure, that they are capable to really work on the lines. They are capable, to really man, the infrastructure, that is the power infrastructure, all through the value chain, of the power, delivery. That's generation, transmission, distribution.